MPD, the Honorable Professor Dr. Nguyen Trang Giang, the Honorable Associate Professor Dr. Sodik Hutomo MS, distinguished guests and all participants, good morning and good afternoon, depending on wherever you are. First of all, let's pray our God, Allah the most gracious, the most merciful, the creator and sustainer of the universe. I hope all participants are in good health and participate in this event until the end. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sabar Nur Sidik. It is an honor for me to be your moderator in the plenary session of the first international conference on sport and tourism, fostering innovation on traditional games and sports amid Industrial Revolution 5.0 society. Ladies and gentlemen, please be firm. Sing the national anthem of Indonesia Raya. For information to all participants, attendants can click the link in the chat column, and during the question session, you can ask your question in the chat column. Ladies and gentlemen, step on to the following agenda are speeches. The first is welcoming speech from Professor Dr. Insinyur Tresna Priana Sumardi, SAMS, Director of Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta. Professor Tresna, screen is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. And let us praise and gratitude to God, the Almighty. We are given safety and health to be able to gather in this morning webinar. And next, I would like to express my respect and thanks because it is an honor for UTP to organize challenging topics about sport and tourism. I would like to express my respect to distinguished honorable guest, Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy, Dr. Sandiaga Uno, MBA. Thanks for your willing to deliver your keynote speaks through video recording of your keynote speaks. And then to the country speakers from Malaysia, Associate Professor Reziana Mohammed from University Technology Mara, Malaysia. And then Professor Angelo Guillermo from Tarlac Agriculture University, Philippines. And Professor Nguyen Tra Giang from Bangkok Thonburi University, Thailand. And Associate Professor Suratmin from Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha Bali, Indonesia. Associate Professor Sodik Hutomono from UTP Surakarta, Indonesia. And Assistant Professor Slamet Santoso from UTP Surakarta, Indonesia. And of course, Mr. Sabar Nur Sodik, thank you as a moderator. And also to my vice rectors, deans, head of study program, student, and dear participants, which I could not mention one by one. Good morning. In particular, my appreciation goes to the committee who have prepared this webinar as well as possible. First of all, I would like to introduce about UTP. UTP is a private university in central of Java, in city of Surakarta, the city of our president hometown, Pak Joko Widodo. UTP established in 1980. And we have 4 faculties and 13 study program. And UTP also well known as a leading in sports study program. Our leading study program in Solo, in Bachelor in Sport Trainer Education, Bachelor in Physical Education, Health and Recreation, and Masters in Physical Education. In particular, for sport-related programs, we have dedicated land about 3.2 hectares with infrastructure for sport, art, and cultures. About 4,000 square sport and art center, climbing facilities, tennis courts, and the next project is football field and Olympic swimming pool. And the students have various art and sport clubs. UTP Football Club, Volleyball, Tennis Club, Table Tennis, Badminton, Petang, Rugby, Traditional Dance, and so on and so forth. Today, we organize an international conference on sport tourism, fostering innovation on traditional game and sports amid Industrial Revolution 5.0 society. I would like to first deliver about the potential of sport tourism to awaken the tourism sectors. The combination of tourism and sport, or better known as sport tourism, has been growing in recent years. In the future, sport tourism is also expected to be one of the driving force for the tourism sectors in Indonesia, as well as in Solo Raya. Solo at large. This is because Indonesia is considered to be one of the icons of world sport tourism with its natural and cultural wealth. If you look back, a number of successful sport tourism events were held in the country. This event was also an effective promotion, even for Indonesia tourism to foreign countries. Moreover, various regions in Indonesia are also competing to develop their respective sport tourism to attract tourists. Moreover, Solo is a city that is synonymous with culture, culinary, and tourism. Solo is also worthy of being a sport tourism location. Participants can experience food, cultural, and tourist attraction in Solo. And then, according to our history, Tour de Singkarak, for example, has indeed become one of the sport tourism events that always invite the curiosity of tourists since it was held in 2009. The bicycle racing event, which was held around Lake Singkarak, West Sumatra, has made significant progress every year, both in the number of competition participants, organizers, and also tourists. For example, in the numbers, in 2009, only 7 foreign participants took part in this event. However, then it always increases every year. And in 2018, the event was attended by 114 participants, consisting of 20 teams from various countries. Then, in the following year, this agenda continued to be a prestigious event that was attended by no less than 18 countries. Another event, the Tour de Banyuwangi Ijen, is also always busy with enthusiasts. For example, in 2017, there were 20 bicycle racing teams from 29 countries that took part in the bicycle race, including Iran, Japan, South Korea, South Africa, and many more. Then in 2019, the number of participants who took part in the Tour de Banyuwangi increased to 23 countries. Although every year sport tourism enthusiasts are increasing, the pandemic that occurs has quite give impact on this event in Indonesia. This is due to the postponement of several international and domestic sporting events. However, the huge potential for sport tourism in Indonesia is believed to be an attraction for both domestic and foreign tourists after the COVID-19 pandemic. Indonesia has many choices of sport tourism destination favored by the foreign tourists. 3 of those choices of sport tourism destination are marine sport tourism, mountain sport tourism, and land sport tourism. In each type of sport tourism, Indonesia has a wide choice of location and sport tourism event that tourists can enjoy. And we can talk also about how much money does Indonesian tourism make in 2019. Yeah. With an average visit duration of 9 to 12 days, Indonesia gains about US dollars 4.6 billion of foreign exchange income annually. This makes tourism Indonesia's third most important non-oil gas source of foreign revenue after timber and textile products. The pandemic of COVID-19 has indeed decayed tourism. The unprecedented outbreak of coronavirus have tremendously disrupted all countries, including Indonesia. The official report of Statistics of Indonesia recorded that Indonesia economic growth plunged at minus 3.4%. and also perpetuating the negative records in the preceding quarter by minus 5.32%. A couple of negative magnitudes has led Indonesia to fall into recession for the first time since 1998. The pandemic situation in which economic growth was slumped should be considered to arrange strategic plan by which various sectors are brought in the post-pandemic periods. Indonesia should be able to make sport tourism a key driver for the tourism sectors. This is because Indonesia is actually considered an icon of world sport tourism combined with its natural and cultural wealth. How about Solo? The city planned World Cup U20 will be in Solo, and Solo will support sport tourism. Our mayor of Solo prepares also sport tourism packaging planning. And we have Gelora Manahan Solo, the impact of Gelora Manahan Solo renovation on Persis Solo. It is a potential sport tourism as well. Football in Solo is an extraordinary type of tourism in the sport sectors, which is very popular in the world, with the match of football teams being tourist attraction objects that provide benefit for the organizers of the competition and the football club itself. Moreover, Solo is a city that is synonymous with culture, culinary, and tourism, as I said before. Solo is also worthy of being sport tourism location. Participants can experience, again, food, culture, and tourist attraction in Solo. As a conclusion, I would like to wrap up that the international sport event can be an attraction for Indonesian tourism, such as the Asian Games, Tour de Banyuwangi, Ijen, Ironman Bintan, Jogja International Heritage Walk, Borobudur Marathon, and many others. Sport tourism has become a new tourism trend with a very wide market, especially Indonesia that has natural resources such as mountains, seas, and lakes, which can be used for various sporting events. Ladies and gentlemen, those are my notes in this opening. Next, let's listen to the keynote speaking from the minister and resource person, country speaker from Malaysia, Philippines, Korea, and Indonesia. Hopefully, this webinar will contribute ideas about the great potential of sport tourism in community development in the region and its important role in national economic development. Happy webinar. Thank you for your attention. By saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I declare the webinar open.
Thank you for Professor Tresna. The second speech will be delivered by the Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy of Republic of Indonesia, Dr. Sandiaga Uno MBA. His speech will be in the form of video recorder. Please.
Wabarakatuh. I congratulate the international webinar, Sports Tourism Innovations on Traditional Games and Sports, organized by Tunas Pembangunan University Surakarta in collaborations with Ganesha University of Education, Bali. The development of sports-based tourism is currently our special and full of focus going forward. By working on many collaborations with sporting events And this is done as an effort to restore the stretch of the tourism in Indonesia that includes quality and sustainability tourism based on sports. And we are seeing a lot of this opportunity affected by the pandemic. Sports tourism can be packaged with a hybrid system which is half virtual, half physical. For example, there are several sports tourism agendas that will take place in the near future, including marathons, triathlons, and golfs. I participated in one triathlon whereby the event was in Kendari, and I am here in Jakarta, and we were able to compete virtually. I believe the parent organizations of the sport has committed to holding activities in several priority tourist destinations in Indonesia, such as Lake Toba, Labuan Bajo, and many other super priority destinations. On the other hand, during the COVID-19 pandemic, tourist destinations must have the requirements of the cleanliness, health, safety, and environmental sustainability, or we call it CHSE protocol, or fulfill the terms of cleanliness, health, safety, and environmental sustainability. I invite all parties to collaborate and synergize in order to advance the esports industry as a sports, tourism, ecosystem development, and creative economy of Indonesia. We will also organize the cooperation framework. We hope this will revive people's economic activities. Thank you very much. May God bless all of us, and may Indonesia tourism and creative economy prosper and recover. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for Dr. Sandiaga Uno, MBA. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we will start our session on the first international conference on sport and tourism by theme Fostering Innovation on Traditional Games and Sport amid Industrial Revolution 5.0 Society. Without any further ado, we would like to welcome the first presenter, Mr. Slamet Santoso, MBD. He is an assistant professor as well as director of student affairs, Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta. Mr. Slamet Santoso, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable, the committee, speaker, moderator, and all participants of the 2021 International Conference on Sport and Tourism, Icosam. I'm honored and pleased to able to speak in front of all of you to present my innovative finding on traditional sport development with the title is Guara Guara. Before I start deliver the material, I would like to first ask a few questions to all participants. Please participants can later answer via the chat column. And please, the committee for the multimedia section can help monitor which participant answer the fast. I will give a prize letter. And later the prize can be picked up on the campus of Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta on Monday to Friday during work hour. Others outside Indonesia will be able to send the address, but tax and shipping costs will be borne by the participant. The first question, please mention three traditional spots originating from Central Java. Let's read in the pen column as soon as possible. Icon of 5 times my chat with close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's okay. The second question, name a traditional game that requires a very Higgs balance and is made of bamboo. Okay, the third question. What is the name of the creator of the game Guara Guara? Okay, thank you very much for the participant. I will continue the material. Guara Guara is sport tourism. Tourism with combine with sport, or better known as sport tourism, is growing in recent years. In the future, sport tourism is also to be one of the driving force for the tourism sector in Indonesia. This is because Indonesia is considered to be one of the sport tourism with natural wealth and culture diversity. As well as we all know, a number of sport tourism events have been successful held in the country. The event is expected to be an effective promotion of Indonesia's sport tourism Indonesian tourism to foreign and countries. Moreover, various regions in Indonesia are also competing to development their respective for tourism to attract tourists. The characteristic of sport tourism are part of sporting event that is carried out in order to support tourism. The hopes potential for sport tourism in Indonesia is believed to be an attraction for both domestic and foreign tourists after the COVID-19 pandemic. Sport tourism has become a new tourist trend whose market is very broad. Especially, Indonesia has a variety of culture and in which there are traditional game and sport that we can explore and develop so that they can be more interesting. This innovation of traditional game and sport is one of the opportunity in developing sport tourism in Indonesia. The opportunity for developing sport tourism will be even greater after the pandemic. People will prefer to exercise in the open. In the field, we must take advantage of this opportunity for Indonesia. Here are some examples of traditional sport include Rangku Ulu, Rangku Alu, Sudamanda, Egrang, lompat tali, balap karung, boy-boyan, panjat bambu, etc. Gora-gora. Gora-gora is one of the innovation model of traditional sport in Indonesia, which is designed to become a single unit so that it becomes a new sport in an effort to preserve traditional game or sport and increase the attractiveness of the community to play them again. The definition of gora-gora is a combination of traditional Indonesian sport as or gora-gora is gabungan dari olahraga-olahraga tradisional Indonesia. Such as rangkualu, kemudian next balap karung, lompat tali bertahap, for Sudamanda, 5 lompat tali, 6 egrang, 7 boy-boyan, and 9 is panjat pinang or panjat bambu. The gora-gora player from start to finish have to go through various challenges and obstacles in the form traditional game or sport that have been modified according to the states of the respective sports consist of 8 sports. The first pause is start pause or the start of the Guara Guara game. The selection of the type of game or traditional sport that will be the opening of the competitive sport certainly has unique characteristic, yeah, is good, interesting, challenging, entertaining, and full of concentration. Based on this, a game that combine movement, a dance, and enchanting a song was chose, namely modification of Rangku Alu. Rangku Alu is a game and dance from Manggarai, Flores, is Nusa Tenggara, ya, Nusa Tenggara Timur. The second pose is a modification of the balap karung using a helm. The third pose is a modification of the multi-level rope game or lompat tali bertahap, which is carried out sequentially and continuously start from the low level to the high level. The fourth pose is a modification of the Sudamanda Gunung, Sudamanda Gunung and kapal terbang with a unique design. The fifth pose is a modification of the 7-round swift or lompat tali berputar. And sixth pose is a still game that only release or is egrang. The seventh pose is modification of the boy-boyan or lempar tangkap, lempar tangkap sasaran, which is played by throwing the ball toward the target pin. The eighth pose is the last pose, which is a modification of bamboo climbing in the water or in the middle of the spider web. The philosophy of the shape and size of the Guara Guara field is quite unique because with a distinctive field pattern, which is formed from a combination of the letter G face each other with man Guara Guara. The two letter G that face each other unite by two letter of S, which also face each other, which man is Slamet Santoso. The Guara Guara field is the form of a track from the letter G, which is connected by the letter S with a field a length of which is divided into 9 posts, and for each post, the shapes, assist, and length of the track are different. More detail we can see figure 1, the following scale. The following is an explanation of the Guara-Guara field from each post from start to finish. The post 1, the first post is a start post or the start of the Guara-Guara game, which will be the opening of the competitive sport. Of course, in this post, it must begin with a game that has unique characteristics, is good, interesting, challenging, entertaining, full or concentration, and enchanting. Here is the game. In the first post that combine with motion and an enchanting song, namely modification of Rangku Alu. Please and equipment use a field that is hard, flat, and grace with a length of the 10 meters and width of 8 meters. A long bamboo is 2 meters, a diameter 8 centimeters. How to play? The number 1 is a participant enter post 1 according to the serial number of the match. 2, each match is following by 4 participants. Participants position themselves in each place that have been provided with playing equipment. Angklung musik accompaniment as an early match and the start of the game. Participants immediately play the game according to bamboo pitch music accompaniment. Participants must concentrate on playing it because when the angklung music accompaniment stop is a second and that the game is over for post 1 and as soon as possible to advance to post 2. The duration of the music accompaniment is 30 seconds. Participant who can complete post 1 perfect will get 5 points. Participants are declared disqualified if in playing at post 1 they experience 3 times being pitched by bamboo. Post 2, the second post is modification of balap karung use help. The participant will have complete post 1, then run as fast as possible with a distance of 5 meters to pick up and wear equipment such as safety help and burlap balap karung that have been provided. Participants run as fast as possible to get to the third post with a distance of 60 meters. Participant who can complete pass to perfect will get to 5 points. Post 3, the third post modification lompat tali bertahap, multi-level rope game, which is carried out sequentially and continue start from the lowest level to the high level. The distance of each stage is 4 meters, with a total track length of 30 meters. Participant three to pass jump over the rubber step by step, start from the lows to the heights in sequence. The first obstacle in the game start with a rope as high as the 50 centimeters. The second is 90 centimeters and third is 100 centimeters. Participant in pass the rope instead may use any technique. Pass 4. The fourth pose is modified Sudamanda or anklet in the form of an airplane and a mountain, which is divided into several parts. The rule is that players use their feet to treat every available title and adjust the shape of the tail. Sometimes players are required to use one foot when step on a flute and use 2 feet when step on certain flutes. And there are flutes in the form a mountain that can be stepped on, must be jumped. The length of the post for a track is 30 meters long. In the middle of which there is Sudamanda, Kapal, and Gunung. Sudamanda, Kapal, and Gunung. The long is 10 meters. The third post is a modification of spinning rope or is lompat tali berputar, which is carried off sequentially and continues start from 1 round to a 7 round. The distance between the swivel rope is 4 meters, with a total track length of 30 meters. The sixth post is a still game that only relies on balance and speed is egrang bambu. This still game, the most important part is to be able to maintain body balance and run as fast as possible. Of course, to have a good skill require sufficient and correct practice. The seventh post is modification of the boy-one, which is played by throwing the ball toward the target with the aim of opening the bridge. The egg post is the last post, which is a modification of climbing bamboo petung, which is surrounded by cobwebs at the bottom for safety. The winner of the match is participant who is able to collect the most points in the faster. Guara-guara, which consists of several posts that have been designed, must be carried out sequentially and continuously according to the stage. If a player fails in one of the posts, it will be declared is disqualified. A determination of the winner in this game of Guara-guara is the player who is able to finish all his posts in the fastest time and get the highest accumulation point. The unique and attractiveness of the game of Guara-guara is hoped to be able to crazy many people so that they can expand the tourism sector. The charm and excellence of the Guaras has elements such as beauty, agility, speed, strength, accuracy, flexibility, balance, accuracy, perseverance, and yielding. Oke, salam guara-guara dan selamat menikmati. Thank you, terima kasih dan matur nuwun. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I can say. Hope it can be useful and contribution to advancing Indonesia sport tourism. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Slamet, for the insightful presentation. I would like to announce the winners of the quiz. There is Trijat Mika, the first question, Fatur Rahman, the second question, and Dici Hendro Prasetyo, the third question. Please reach out to the committee to get your prize. And the second presenter from Associate Professor, Universitas Teknologi Mara, Malaysia, faculty member of the Faculty of Sports, Science and Recreation, UITM Syah Alam. She is highly experienced in the share market, advertising, and sport tourism industry. Associate Professor Dr. Raziana Muhammad Kasim. Please, screen is yours.
Okay, can everyone see my screen here? Is the screen? Can anybody says yes? You can see my screen.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Oh, great. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. Thank you for the organizing host, University Tunas Pembangunan, the deans, yeah, Pak Tresma, and then co-organized of Universiti Pendidikan Ganesha Bali, and of course our University Teknologi Mara. Right, great to have everybody here. Are you all ready for the presentations? Alright, okay, izinkan saya berbicara 3 language ya. Bahasa Malaysia, English, and bahasa Indon. Ya, nama saya Associate Professor Dr. Riziana Muhammad Kasim. Yang dihormati Pak Tresna, Pak Sandiago, harap-harap semuanya sehat ya. Okay, why? Because asalnya saya, mama saya, papa saya adalah di Indonesia. Gitu ya ceritanya. Papa saya adalah orang Mendeleng. Okey, asalnya Mendeleng, kalau tak silapnya Nasution. Ya, asalnya mama di Dokjar. Baru ni pergi jejak-jejak jumpa di istananya, gambar nenek-nenek sama macam muka saya ya. Okay, alright. So first of all, okay, all the participants that we have here, 281. Okay, do you play e-sports? Say yes. Check. You play e-sport? Yes, 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 yes. I want to see. All right, if you play e-sport, check please. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, anybody plays e-sport here? All right. Chatting yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes. Wow, I have Farida playing. Wow, I have Rosalind playing. Wow, Dino also. Yes, yes, yes. MashaAllah, I have Daisy also play. Wow, everybody plays esports. Yeah. Okay, Pak Tresna, kita ni generasi lain kan. Jadi mau jadi muda, jadinya kita pun ikut sekali tengok research on esports. Very good. Yes, well. All right, thank you very much. Let me start my presentation. I would like to focus, committed, and also enjoy these what you call presentations. Any of you, if you have any questions, you just can check that. Okay, so most of all, I would like actually to look into this topic. All right, I would like to thank all these my colleagues. Bibi Shakira is here. All right, she is actually my master students going to go for PhD. This is partly of her work. Okay, she is actually esports. All right, players. All right, and we have this Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Nizam, Dr. Rahizam, Khairul Zaman, and Muhammad Ali Kimeh. All these are my teams. Okay, they have done a good job here looking into the conceptual framework. Okay, by the way, my deans, Professor Dr. Anizu Mahat, send regards to everybody in this conference. Okay, all right. So my presentation today will break down into introduction. Okay, we're going to look a little bit about the problem statement, research objective, question, literature review, and conceptual framework. This is only a conceptual framework where we combine e-games and tourism. So any of you down there, if you are looking into this type of topic for your final research or for your future research, please welcome. Okay, we have from Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Manila, and also we have some in Brunei, I guess. Okay, so let's look. Okay, what can you see here? Is an arena or a stadium. Okay, so at this pandemic, of course, we miss so much this. We miss this environment. We wish that we can go back to that environment, right? Those who like to play e-games. All right, esports, yeah, so I think you missed this, but due to the COVID-19 pandemics, you have to stay wherever you are, but still you can have live telecom. Okay, right, so all these are the keynotes or key terms that we have to look into when we want to look into esports tourism. Okay, so it says here e-sport will rival the biggest traditional sports. We hear just now the previous speakers talking about very wonderful traditional sports, but maybe in future that traditional sport can be transformed into e-games. Right? Okay, so this is looking into that, and then venture or sports on your own future. We got a lot of professional esports earning millions of money, right? So they earn a lot of money. So people are talking about the negative side of esports, but don't look at the negative side. Let's look at the positive side. Let's look at this new generation, embrace the new generations about this esports. Okay, so it says here esport is undoubtedly a global phenomena, but local communities still stand to benefit and can identify to promote the greatest asset, meaning that all of us, the whole world, either in Korea, in Japan, and etc., they are actually towards esports. Indonesia are now into esports. Malaysia also into esports because it generates economics to the country. Okay, right, so let's look at this. Okay, this is the introduction. So it's stated here, all right, esports is perceived as a commercial commodity resulting from the field of sports, marketing, and technology. Right, because of esports, because of the marketing and technology, it become one big industry, right? And it has a value of income with a big player. What does it mean by big player? You have the facilities, you have the technologies, you have the fans, you have the stadiums, etc. You have the game. People are now creating more games. Right, so it became a promotion business strategy, especially during this pandemic, right? And behind it, it has an experiential value. So in these studies, we are going to look into the experiential value of esports. Are you all okay down there? Say yes, right? All the participants, all right? Okay,
Yes.
great. Yes, super. Okay, right. So due to this COVID lockdown, what happened? Ada hikmahnya di bawah lockdown ini. Why? Because most people engage with video games. Why? Because we cannot travel. Restriction of travel. So we have time, so they enjoy the esports, right? But, okay, will this format change after post-COVID? So these studies are looking into post-COVID later on. All right, so we are looking into tourism facilities on esports later after the post-COVID. Okay, right, so you can see how the market generated billions, see 177.8 billions in 2020, and it's going up to 20.1. Wow, the highest market growth. Right, so the PC market declined though, but they spend on box games. 26 billion spent on browser games. Okay, all this data is the latest data that we gained from New Zoom January 2021. Okay, enough a little bit about that introduction. Okay, this is what we need to focus on the research itself. Can you see the picture? How happy the players? Okay, how fun they are, how enjoyable they are. Yang ni masa sebelum COVID ya, sebab tu jangan tak ada gambar dia pakai itu. Okay, alright. This is social beside the individual response reflect personal experience to understand their experience on digital experience competitions. Okay, so they suggest to ensure that future success of esports marketing need to align with the community, meaning that the community also need to support the e-games tourism industry. Great. Okay, right. So this is looking into what some researchers stated here, like Chang 208, and then all these. Okay, this says that tourism and hospitality studies begin with conceptual and develop the subconscious into item and which adapt to the concept of experience. Yeah, we are looking to that. And it started to new travel motivation sectors. So new travel. So mostly people are looking into esports tourism. So recently, okay, we can see in Shanghai, they are building 5.8 billions of stadium for just esports. So esports, they can actually accommodate 5,500 people in one go. Okay, right? Because they can see that there is a potential of GNP, gross national productive income coming in. Okay, just imagine after post-COVID, people go to the stadium like we have here in Genting Arena, okay, just to see their fans, just to stay there, just to enjoy, buying food, etc., right? Be with the community. Can you see how the impact towards the economy? Okay, right? So, okay, so here is more on looking into how influence of spectators experience attitudes, being slow to strong. All right, this is some examples of global games forecast. So for those who are actually into e-games, okay, they understand this from Zoom, okay? So can you see the increments in 2023? 204.6 billion income and increasing of 7.2%. Right? So this is the global game market. In Asia itself, it contributes to 50%. Wow, kan 50% of the revenue. Okay, and you can see Middle East are coming up now, Europe, Latin America, North America. Okay, so right, so what is actually the problem that we are going to look? In any of the research that you are going to do, you have to look into the problem first. Okay, so here stated that, okay, Korean Basketball Organization, EFL 2019, says that the spectators' experience on physical tournament has effect on satisfaction, on physically. Meaning that spectators kalau pergi physically-nya, dia suka tempat tu, rather than live. Okay, all right, whereby experience factors of education and entertainment also influence the attachment. So experience factors of education is only factors that manipulate the sense of communities. Okay, so how we're going to look into traditional sports is not the same also like in sport. They do not go under technology experience. But in sports, we are combining with culture, technologies, esports, etc., and also traveling. Okay, right. Second is looking into relationship with esports and digital phase of experiential economy, right, into the ecosystem and eco of the surface. So there is lack of research or no research to understand the esports spectators experience from the for real experience economy. So there is no display. So anybody who wants to look into this, yes, you can just contact us, contact my student, etc. on this topic itself. Okay. Second, or the third one, we are looking into building relationship of career path for consumer. For what? To transform the brand to increase their joy through gaming experience. Okay, and you can see again and again, people are talking about COVID, pandemics, gaming, esports, etc., increase, etc. So this is actually to look into the field ataupun the bidang in social consumer so that we can proceed better. Okay, right. So the other one is to looking into the independence of for real experience economy. So what does it mean? Okay, so again, to increase number of e-sport viewer and look into the trend from the perspective of entertainment of the industry. Okay, we want to look into the entertainment, the prospects, okay, how the travels, okay, because of we cannot traveling ban and lift up the physical tournament, we'll be back to the physical. So here we give some examples of European Football Championship 2021 has been organized open physical spectators. However, okay, no study had begun to examine the reopen of sports. And recently, if you look into Olympic Games yesterday, right, the open ceremony, wow, kan kita tengok, wow, seronok tengok, but no spectators. Right, masa dia bagi the oboe tu was very beautiful done. Okay, all right, so this is actually looking into memorable. Okay, memorable. Okay, right, so again, another problem statement that we look into, I'm throwing all the problem statement here so that you all can think, see or look which problem statement that actually will match with your study later on. Or now are you doing in-depth studies, okay? So this is actually looking into sense of community and motivation that contribute to live stream engagement, okay, or tweet or platform for gamers fan, okay? And because of the influenza, so understanding of this community and able to discover the value of sports possible increase relevance of the communities. Okay, right, so we have here about, I think, 4 or 5 research objectives. Okay, so when we got all the research programs, okay, we look into the research objective. Okay, so the first research objective stated here, we found out that to identify the experience economy of esports spectators from tourism context. So that is why, so if you see all this what, it's actually going for quantitative research. It can be measured. Okay, so here we have the second one is to determine the effect of experiential economics and sense of economy to esports spectators. All right. The third one to look into the effects, to determine the effects of economic and attachment. So we already have the 3. So if you do your research, you make sure that research objective, research questions are similar. Nampak the perkataan itu mesti berada di dua-dua tempat. Okay, alright. So next is looking into the effect of sense of community and loyalty, and then the effects of attachment to loyalty. So the research question for 4 is actually what is the effect of the sense of community on loyalty of esports? Alright, penjaga masa tengok ya, kalau masa saya sudah habis sila beritahu ya. And the effect of attachment to the loyalty. Okay, so this is some of the literature review. I'm not going to actually tell you what it's all about, but as 2019, Malaysia listed of top 10 countries and gaming. All right, so on 5G is coming up, 5G is already here, and it actually quickens. And then we have for industrialization 4.0. So we mean 5.0, 4.0 industry, everybody's are going for digitals, data analyticals, etc. Okay, so this is esports versus tourism. All right, so you can look into what does Dialect 209 says. Okay, esports event tourism offer remarkable experience to the fan. Boleh tak participant to imagine when your fans dalam esports tu menang. In fact ya, dalam rumah saya ni ada satu bilik tu, anak-anak saya dia buat bilik e-sports. Diorang main, diorang menjerit semua dalam e-sport tu. Saya kadang-kadang tengok, oh, saya rasa saya mau buda lagi mau join diorang. Diorang nak main apa? PUBG. Boleh tak mama main PUBG? Mama kata, dia kata, mama pandai ke main PUBG gitu ya. Alright, so get the chance to watch the best player in the world completed. Meet their friends, okay, favorite players, share the passion like my fans and etc. Indeed, when my kids, okay, they are together, okay, I have, saya ada apa nama, 3 menantu, 3 anak sendiri dan cucu-cucu. So when they meet together, sebab apa? Rumah saya di sini, rumah mereka di sebelah-sebelah, jadi 3 rumah sekali. So when they meet together, they are always talking about esports. Who are the players, what are the what you call rank, etc. Okay, so this is looking into the behaviors, as you know. Okay, two behavior of ecosystem. People that game publishers aim to satisfy, gamers are the viewers. Right. So in these 2 elements, we are looking into experience economy, aesthetic, escapism, and another factor is drama. So to understand this, we need to focus on the behavior intentions and not mention experiential marketing. Okay, so attachment, of course, okay, I have mentioned just now, when players attach or gamers or fans attach to their sports or events or any gamers, they become loyal. All right, so they are watching and watching. So this on Wong Friedman 2020 stated that the viewer attracted to personality and the value that the streamer to give financial support to their favorite fans, favorite groups, okay? Right, so in previous years, Hilbert Bruce ETL 2018 state that already concluded that when the viewer are emotionally attached, they are motivated to watch. Tak kisahlah what time. Because kadang-kadang saya tengok pukul 2 pagi, pukul 3 pagi, and the new generation now, they don't sleep at night. They don't really sleep at night, but they sleep in the morning, in the noon, okay? Right, so, and then the sense of community, this is more on social experience of sense, discover the sport consumer, looking to the center of experience surrounding. Okay, right, participants, are you okay there? This is more on academic now. Okay, just want you to a little bit more focus and look at this and get more ideas. Okay, right? Okay, good. Right, this is what we put into economic experience: entertainment, education, aesthetic, and escape. So economic experience, we have theory. So the theory goes into 4 also again. All right, experience, education, escape, and aesthetics. So this is the conceptual framework that we suggest to do later on. Okay, we have the sense of communities, economic experience, sense of communities, attachment, and the loyalty. All right, so the measurement, it can be on surveys, okay, some surveys measurements here, and then what is the significance? All right, so this is towards the end. So every research need to have a significance. First, to understand the behaviors of cognitive information. Second, to look into the emotional aspects of consumer decision making. And then to grasp the basic competition strategy to predict behaviors and to understand esports tourism in wider experiential economy. Right, and able to understand, of course, just now I had mentioned, it's all about it's all about cognitive information, it's all about making decisions. Okay, so right, so there, that is my what you call final say. Okay, the future in esports and the future is now. So thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. Send back to the panel. All right, thank you.
The next presenter from Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha Bali, Indonesia, faculty member of the Faculty of Sports and Health, Undiksa Bali. He is highly experienced in the area of sport tourism. Associate Professor Dr. Suratmin, MPD, please, time is yours.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to say thank you for coming to my presentation. It's great to see you all. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am glad to see you all, and I hope we are all let me introduce myself and my partner. My name is Suratmin. I am from Indiksha University, North Bali, Faculty Sport and Health. My partner is Gede Budi Adniana. He is best practice sport tourism and recreation in North Bali. Next to me, is Miss Konita. She has helped me in this presentation. In this opportunity, I would like to present about development of tourism village, sport tourism, creative culture, and economic in North Bali. Okay, now Ms. Konita will present to you all. Please, Miss. Thank you.
Let me first share the screen. Good morning, everyone. The Honorable Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy of Republic of Indonesia, Professor Sandiaga Uno, and Professor of UTP Surakarta, Professor Dr. Insinyur Tresna P. Sumardi, and all of the plenary speakers, including participants in this international conference. Here we would like to share about the development of tourism, village, sport tourism, creative culture, and economy in Bali with the team Dr. Suratmin and IGD Bagus Budiatmana. We will present later after me from University of Tunas Education. According to Panwit 2001 state that the motivation of tourists visits to Indonesia, both foreign and domestic, is 52.24% is due to natural resources. We, Indonesia, have natural resources such as beaches, seas, and mountains, provides natural beauty and scenery that are used as a very promising industrial and business facilities. Tourism development is one of the sectors that needs to be done because the tourism sector can increase the country's foreign exchange earnings, create jobs, expand employment opportunities, improve the community's economy, and introduce a variety of national and home culture. Bali is a tourism area that provide natural diversity. Natural and cultural diversity is a promising capital in the present and in the future, especially in the world of tourism. Tourism can also provide encouragement and contribution to the implementation of the development of various sectors. For countries that have developed or advanced economies, where the tourism industry is a reality in the midst of other industries. General industry is a certain group of business that have the same techniques and methods of generating profits. The third industry is also used for a part of economic production that focused on certain manufacturing processes that must have large capital before being able to make a profit. The north of Bali is being in the heart of traditional Balinese culture with fewer tourists around and less big-scale development. It somehow feels more authentic. Particularly driving around, you often find yourself facing partner local village who rarely see tourists. One of the districts in Bali, especially in North Bali, is Buleleng. Buleleng is very suitable for the development of natural tourism village. In here, we talk about sports. There are um, water sports and mountain sports that can be uh, provided in this district area, especially in Buleleng. To be able to provide satisfactory services in the 21st century, tourism has become a study conducted by the World Tourism Organization, which discovered how important it is to analyze the future of tourism as an industry. Here, tourism is an activity that provides opportunities for individuals to move, see, learn, socialize, get to know a culture, the natural surroundings, excellence, wonders, or the privilege of other places. The Buleleng Valley can be one of the promising area to become a tourism destination, because in that area the tourists can enjoy like snorkeling, diving, surfing, canoeing, trekking, hiking, climbing, and outbound. They can also enjoy the beautiful sunrise and in the afternoon with the sunset. They can also swimming or playing in water or sand for their children, including also sunbathing on beach. In they all can be done or can be enjoyed in Buleleng Valley. One of the recreation, adventure, and games elements that can be all tourism enjoy the place, including adventure sports like you mentioned before, like climbing, hiking, and also outbound as well. Uh, Talking about sports, the trend of sports is sport industry and sport tourism. So the ministry, the Ministry of Youth and Sport, together with the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, and various related parties, are very intense in encouraging the development of industrial sports and tourism sports. In addition to their main task in improving physical fitness and the welfare of the community. According to the development, tourism aims to provide benefits for both tourists and local residents through the economic benefits derived from tourism destination. Tourism capital assets are the first is natural potential, second cultural potential, and third is human potential. Through the local wisdom of the community, high cultural values, hilly soil texture, Negara Gunung, natural tourism, various beliefs, and the friendliness of the people of Buleleng are the mainstay of the creation of a new tourist village. Buleleng has sloping beaches, calm seas, many hilly areas, and very beautiful and beautiful plantation, also spotted by people who still preserve nature. Buleleng is very suitable for the development of tourist villages supported by various natural resources, cultural diversity, and local wisdom. The current limited jobs opportunities are increasingly becoming a challenge for everyone, especially young people. Also, we are facing the COVID-19 pandemic. The solution for this problem depends on each individual. The community is required to be able to see business opportunities so jobs can be created by themselves. Strategic places are an important factor in the development of tourism business with the development of tourist villages in Buleleng. The development of tourist villages, tourism, and sport tourism are a priority in Buleleng. Tourism and sports are the spearhead of future life. The needs of tourism, sports, and all related activities can trigger new business, new services, and products. The rise of developments in the field of sports opens up wide opportunities for the growth and development of the sports business, goods, and services. Sports involve many institutions or organizations, including sport clubs, school, fitness center, and health association, always involve many people and require equipment, facilities, transportation, and services. This, of course, opens up job opportunities, also needs for tools, equipment, facilities to support sports activities, and the importance of management and marketing of tourist village. For the next slides here will be delivered by Ikede, that is Budi Adnana, to Ikede Bagus Budi Adnana. Please continue the presentation, and for the operator, please unmute and I will.
Baru mulai, Pak.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Can everybody hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear. Please,
Okay.
please continue. I will next the slide if it's needed this time. Okay.
Okay. Great day, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Swastiastu, Salam, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan untuk kita semua. Thank you for allowing me to continue the explanation about the culture and sport activity. As we know, in Buleleng, North Bali, we have so many interesting place, potential place to the tourism activity. For example, we have so many respect view, mountain view, and also beach view. We have so many best coral reef to do snorkeling, fishing, and also diving, and also many sport tourism potential and also culture we can see, and we can improve to be a tourism object. For example, let me show you the pictures about our culture in Buleleng. For the first, you can see the Sapi Grumuan traditional. This is our tradition at Lovina. I hope you can see the pictures. So, Sapi Grumungan is a unique show. It's usually held at the football field of Kaliasem village, Lovina Singaraja. Sapi Grumungan are not only enjoyed by the local people, but also foreign tourists. The role of this Grumungan is that a pair of selected cows will attract a jockey who sit in a special place decorated with the Balinese equipment. This unique action tradition was inaugurated by the region of Buleleng in 2002. So, that its implementation becomes more orderly and programmed. Tourists who watch the Sapi Gerumbungan can also try to become a jockey. No need be afraid of the cost going berserk because the participating in the competition have been trained, so it will be provide an unforgettable experience for the tourists. And next, also one of our tradition in Buleleng is Nyepi Umeng in Bungkulan village. The people of Bungkulan village in Sawan district, Buleleng Regency have a unique tradition, or commonly referred to as Nyepi Umeng. Nyepi Umeng is carried off by farmers who grow white rice, which is held for a day during Nyepi Umeng. Residents and farmers are prohibited from entering the rice field or subak. A series of ceremonies leading up to Nyepi Umeng was held 2 days before the implementation of Nyepi Umeng, starting from a farmer together with a representative of the village apparatus carrying out a ceremony at the Ulun Danubatur temple, and then the next day, coincided with a Purnama Kedasa, the people will going ceremony at the rice field. The ceremony is a form of gratitude from the farmer in Bungkulan village to God Almighty for the abundance of our product. And the next, the other tradition, we have a Banteng Due tradition in Tamakan village. We have Pedawat traditional house also in Buleleng. In Singaraja city, you can find the historical building, the house of President of Sukarno Mothers, and also you can see Masjid Agung Jami. During the pandemic, all tourist sectors are in the worst condition. Various efforts were made by the government already do many things to improve the situation, so the tourist sector, especially the Bali tourism, could be raised again. And also, we are local people also have to do something to increase the attractive and increase the satisfaction of tourists who will come to Lovina. For example, we do a daily packet. We make the daily packet of tourism sport activities in the new normal area for tourism in Lovina, Bali. Creating this innovation in sport tourism and recreation management in the new normal can be the answer to tackling the critical period of tourism and become a new source in become for local people as service provider in Lovina. The daily packet, for example, the packet one is for the first, the tourists can be enjoy the beautiful sunrise while seeing the attraction of wild dolphins, and then they go to breakfast. After that, they go snorkeling for around 2 hours, then get lunch, get rest, and then they do massage, and also take a leisurely walk around the beach while enjoying various typical Lovina souvenirs. Also, the other packet is for the first, they get breakfast and then do trekking, also enjoying the waterfall panorama, get rest at the hotel, swimming in hot water, cycling, enjoy the sunset, and have dinner. For the other packet, also we can do diving. So the first, the tourists can do breakfast and then do first diving in Lovina Beach, and then get rest for get lunch, and do the second diving, and then enjoy the beautiful sea creature like of many kind of fish and also coral reef. And then after that, they can get rest at the hotels. Each packet offered is each packet offered is to interested and budget of the tourist, so it's necessary to agree before doing it. Every activity use personal safety standards such as wearing a mask, keeping a distance, using a safety jacket, and being guided by skilled personnel. So for us to be a good guide for tourists, it's very simple. Just give true information for the tourists and then give a normal price. And then when they do the exhibition, we focus on their happiness, their satisfaction. So after we do, the tourist is feeling funny and enjoy the trip, then we will be a good guide like that. So that's we can take the conclusion that the development of the tourist village in Buleleng is a priority to improve the economy of the local people community. The development of the tourist village in Buleleng can trigger new business and new service, also new products to improve the tourism. Buleleng has beaches and mountains that hold a lot of beauty and natural attraction to serve as a very promising industrial and business facilities. And tourism has a prop itself as an alternative economic activities that can be relied often in an effort to improve people welfare. Okay, that's all of my explanation. Apologize if when my explanation has a wrong word or wrong attitude. Thank you for your attention, and then the time is back for the moderators. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Sramin, for the insightful presentation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the next presenter from Bangkok Thonburi University, Thailand. Faculty member of the Faculty of Sports Science and Technology, Bangkok Thonburi University, Thailand. She is chair of the Muay Thai, She is Safe and Strong, and founder and CIO of Stay Active, Happy Hair, Happy Us. Professor Dr. Nguyen Trangyang, please, time is yours.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much for UTP giving me the great opportunity to get on the stream of International Conference on Sport and Tourism today. And I would like to thank you so much for my friends, colleagues, and students from many countries, Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, Pakistan, Ethiopia, India, join to the conference today and support our conference today. Okay, well, so now it's my turn because the topic of the conference we talk about the traditional sport. So today I would like to share my experience about the Muay Thai of Thailand. Okay, everyone can see my screen. Okay, so the topic today I would like to bring to everyone is the branding of Muay Thai and tourism in Thailand. Okay, first of all, I would like to overview of Thailand tourism. So we know that Thailand is among the top tourism destination in the world with a unique culture and natural offering with its hospitality and its location in the center of Southeast Asia. So according to the Assessment of Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Index, CTCI, by the World Economic Forum, Thailand was ranking in the 35 from 141 countries assessed and were particularly strong on natural resources. The rank 16 airport infrastructure, the rank 17, and tourist service infrastructure, the rank 21. And it accounted for 16.6% of Thailand's GDP in 2015, which surpassed most of the country in region and were higher than global average of 9.8%. In addition to its GDP contribution and receipts, the tourism industry was responsible for more than 4.2 million jobs, or 11% of total national employment, exemplifying its strong contribution to the social economy. So, and then because of we have very good benefit about the sport and tourism, so the Thai government made the strategic marketing that can promote the Thailand as leading regional travel destination of sport tourism that target high potential segments such as sport tourism. So this plan aims to raise more income from existing sport infrastructure and use sport tourism to help promote awareness and interest in sport and exercise among Thai population. In addition, the development of sport tourism is also encouraged by focusing on Thailand's own products to match the needs and behavior of the tourists. So the target market of the sport tourism are mentioned in 5 special categories. So the first one is natural sport tourism. The second one, man-made sport tourism. The third one, natural and man-made sport tourism. The fourth, sport tourism event. And the last one that we mentioned and focus today is traditional sport. Moreover, because Thailand, we have enough our own product and service to serve these potential target markets. So therefore, the awareness of the product and service that needs to be met according to the international standard and the marketing competitiveness of Thailand needs to be enhanced at the international level. So when we talk about traditional sport, what is traditional sport? This is a sport activity that attracting the tourists to visit or participate in. So traditional sport is sport that is a part of way the people live in the community. Is an invaluable local community culture. Some traditional sports have become popular and it's become international sport nowadays. For example, Muay Thai of Thailand is so famous and popular throughout the world nowadays. And then we talk about Muay Thai. So the popularity of Muay Thai in the past decade has made Muay Thai a recognized sport around the world. It's also gaining interest from foreigners, especially in America and Europe. The live broadcast of Muay Thai match on TV have boosted the popularity of Muay Thai throughout the country. And Muay Thai is the most calorie burning from exercise, and it has been a new trend in sport training among fan groups. With over 300 million practitioners worldwide. Muay Thai is the most commonly practiced sport and diet on the earth. And many Muay Thai training camps exist in Thailand, and many foreigners are interested into learning Muay Thai. Many foreigners also register for training Muay Thai for a long time, and they are ready to come to Thailand, so there is a huge potential. So from the potential market from foreign tourists to Muay Thai, the Thailand government has expressed the branding of Muay Thai and Thai tourism by developing more variety and availability of Muay Thai products and service to attract the increasing number of Muay Thai tourists. So the product and service we need to develop is involved defining the benefit that it will offer. So the benefits are communicated and delivered by the product attribute such as quality, feature, size, and design. So when we talk about the product quality, this is the ability of a product to perform its function. So the company choose a quality level that matches target market needs and the quality level of competing product. And when we talk about the product feature, this product can be offered with varying feature. The company can create a higher level model by adding more feature. And feature are a competitive tool for differentiating the company product from competitor products, and being the first producer to introduce a value new feature is one of the most effective ways to compete. And then we talk about the product style and design. Another way to add the customer value is through distinctive product style and design. Style can be eye-catching or your producing, and design begins with observing customer and developing a deep understanding of their needs. So we try to create a variety of product and service. So we have the Muay Thai competition tour for the tourists. So there are numerous stand-up boxing stadiums that have popped up in the main tourist destination in Thailand, such as in Bangkok, in Pattaya, in Chiang Mai, in Phuket, in Bang Nga, Samui, and so many places around the country. At the same time, the stadium also opened the Muay Thai course suitable for foreign tourists. They can practice and also experience drill match with the Thai fighter. So the Thai government or the Ministry of Sport and Tourism of Thailand, we create the booklet with the information about the stadium, about the place that provide for the Muay Thai service. The tourists very easy can check on the website and can search about what they want and where they want to join and which one is suitable with them or something. Very easy because the information they publish on the website make the tourists very easy to find the information about Muay Thai, like in the picture I show you, that includes the open time, the ticket price, the telephone, the website of the stadium or something. And also they create the product for Muay Thai, like the Muay Thai study. So the gym and the camp is becoming popular. So the camp have provide the Muay Thai lesson, introduce the quality professional boxer. So the camp also offer a gym in the same compound for the general public who want to practice Muay Thai for exercise, for weight loss, and to enjoy its age sport. So in the gym and the camp, the The tourists can find out the information in detail, like the daily session, how much for one, the weekly, the monthly, and also can find out the accommodation if they want to practice at the camp for long term, 1 month, 2 months. So they also can find out the price for accommodation. And this is information detail about the Muay Thai study. The Thai government also put on the website with, very easy that you just scan the QR code and then you can find this kind of information. And also for the tourists that already know about Muay Thai, they want to practice and training with, higher level. So we provide a lesson with a master. So in this kind of lesson, the ancient Muay Thai emphasize the practicality and survival. Unlike Muay Thai is the ring, with the rather for certain techniques of Asian Muay Thai are prohibited in the ring, result in radical difference between the learning and Muay Thai and Asian Muay Thai. So with the lesson of master, we also provide the ancient Muay Thai brand out into the distinct group based on the reason why the difference can be distinctive found in the white cool, righto, walking style, fighting tip and trick, as well as unique hand wrapping and biting. So the tourists can experience and can learn more knowledge about the Muay Thai in higher level. And also we provide the accommodation. We say Muay Thai team accommodation. So in Thailand right now, we have numerous kind of Muay Thai team accommodation. And most of them are simple hostel style that focus on comfort. They are private and share room, as well as a gym for punching, kickboxing, and boxing equipment for use while staying there. So they provide both of, the study, the camp, the gym for boxing, for Muay Thai, and also they provide for accommodation together in one place. And also in the luxury hotel, the Muay Thai gym also provide. The luxury hotel provide a worldwide fitness center that give importance to Muay Thai. It has a Muay Thai boxing ring for tourists to learn this martial art. You can see this is in the picture. I show you the photo. This is the Muay Thai study that provide by luxury hotel, like, the beach and very naturally and very relaxing, very nice place. So in here, in luxury hotel, the guests can learn the basics of the sport on perfect the technique with a professional trainer, from individual fitness training session to the Muay Thai adventure package. Their class to suit every ability. This is the only innovative message, also with the message in the world that integrates the art of self-defense, including the bun, the elbow, knee, to amazing craftsmanship of muscle relaxation. So inside the luxury hotel, with the provider, they provide the Muay Thai class or study. They also have, the massage, especially massage only for Muay Thai. So then the tourists can enjoy in there. And also to interesting more and more tourists for the Muay Thai and the culture of Thailand. So we provide the Muay Thai live show. So this one takes the tourists back in time to experience the legend of Thai boxing, from the history and its development to become an art that protects the nation. So we show you a little bit about the show. Everyone can hear the sound? Okay, so everyone can see that the show, the live show, we provide for the tourists very interesting, and not only the foreign tourists come to the Muay Thai live show for get more experience about Muay Thai Thailand and culture, but also the Thai people also love to join with this kind of Muay Thai live show. And also belong to with many kind of the provide with the product and service, the shopping Muay Thai equipment, also support by the government. A lot of shopping or store, they sell the Muay Thai equipment, so then the tourists very easy to find out the souvenir tourist in the tourist destination, very easy to buy some kind of the Muay Thai equipment to back home, to take for the souvenir gift. So especially in some department store in Bangkok, like is a very famous destination in Bangkok, like Icon Siam. It's a new with luxury department store on the bank of the Chao Phraya River, and also the Siam Discovery, the Absolute Siam Store, the Asia Tick Quay or something. So many shops that sell the Muay Thai souvenir. So, and also this is in the center of Bangkok, and also in around the province and the other city around Thailand also have so many shop and store of the Muay Thai for tourists to buy the souvenir. Okay, and then we talk about the branding. After we provide the product and service in the quality, or we say international level, so we talk about the branding. So this Muay Thai is the branding of Thailand. So when we talk about branding, it's a name, a term, a sign, a symbol, a design, or a combination of these that identify the product or service of one seller or group of sellers and differentiate them from those of competitor. And the brand also say something about the product quality and consistency. Buyer who always buy the same brand know that they will get the same feature, benefit, and quality each time they buy. So the photo can show you when you see the Muay Thai, the photo number 1 and photo number 2, and then you can remember and image that this is from Thailand. So this is we say branding, because when you say something and you remember or image about something, this is branding. And we also make, after we create for the brand for Muay Thai, we put in the branding equity. So the brand are more than just name and symbol. They are a key element in the company relationship with consumer. Brand represent the consumer perception and feeling about the product and its performance, everything that product or service mean to consumer. So we put the equity brand of the Muay Thai in the movie. So when you watch in the movie and you see the Muay Thai and you remember about this is come from Thailand, and this is the Thailand culture, and this is the Thailand traditional sport is something. Okay, so when you hear someone say Coca-Cola, so what do you think, feel, or remember? Or say when we don't have Coca-Cola right now, but when we hear Coca-Cola, this is the word Coca-Cola, and it makes us feel thirsty. It makes us feel like want to drink something in soft drink. Remember about the red label of Coca-Cola or something. So when you watch a Muay Thai movie or you play the Muay Thai in game, so what do you think, feel, or remember? The same. We try to put Muay Thai to be the brand equity because we have enough products and service in quality. So when we watch on the movie about Muay Thai, we remember about Thailand, and when we play the game, the e-game about Muay Thai, and we remember Thailand. So this is the brand equity of the Muay Thai. And then, okay, so everyone, you see, I talk about the brand in social media. So this one is the traditional martial art and the hashtag on Instagram. This is social media. For example, I give you here the Kabaddi. This is traditional sport from India. Is it? Yes. So when you search on Instagram the hashtag Kabaddi, you can find out 300,000, more than 300,000 both about the Kabaddi. And when you search the Pencastilat, is your traditional sport in Indonesia. You see 700 more than, yeah, both about Pencastilat. And how about sumo from Japan? 1 million or more. This is that, you know, someone interesting and someone experienced with, you know, the martial art or traditional of Japan, Indonesia, or traditional sport of India, and they interesting and they post something on Instagram. But when you look for, okay, and this is the Olympic martial art. This is traditional martial art, and we talk about Olympic martial art. How about judo? How many? 5 million, more than 5 million for the judo. Karate do, 7 million. Taekwondo, 5 million more, near 6 million. You see, this is the Olympic martial art. Everyone know what is judo. Everyone know about karate do. Everyone know taekwondo. But how about Muay Thai? Everyone look. You see, when I search on the Instagram Muay Thai, we see 14 million posts about Muay Thai on Instagram. So Muay Thai is strong brand in social media. So we say this one is brand loyalty because when you experience something and you go back to use and you go back to do again or something, and that you post on the Instagram. So we say that the brand loyalty, because the quality of a sport good or service will play a role in encourage the loyalty. So social media is powerful for brand of Muay Thai because it creates two-way interaction between fan and brand. So by social media, Muay Thai can create a lifestyle and sense of community among fans. Okay, so I go for conclusion for my topic today. Over the past 5 years, Thailand has seen phenomenal growth in tourism industry, both on the number of tourists, on the income generated. It has become the world's 11th destination in terms of international arrival, welcoming almost 40 million international tourists in 2019. So the strategic marketing of the Thailand government, which create the brand loyalty of Muay Thai tourism fans, is a fantastic strategy to get the tourists come back, visit, and use the Muay Thai product and service again. Okay, so everyone, I have a good news, just, you know, about the Muay Thai. Right now, Muay Thai have its global governing body have been fully recognized by the IOC on the last 20 July this year. So right now, Muay Thai, we're gonna go for the Olympic, and we hope that Muay Thai can be to the sport for the Olympic 2024, and Thailand people, we proud of, because Muay Thai is going to be the Olympic sport. Thank you for listening. Hello.
Thank you, Professor Nguyen, for the insightful presentation. The next presenter from the Tarlac Agricultural University, faculty member of the Tarlac University in the Philippines. He focused on the sports development and tourism. Professor Dr. Angelo Guillermo, please, time is yours.
A blessed morning to everyone. Thank you, sir, for that wonderful introduction. And of course, thank you for everyone who is in here, of course, the guests and of course, the participants. Okay, so let me share my screen. I hope everyone, please bear with my voice. It's because I'm experiencing a sore throat right now, but I hope and I pray that I can manage to present well. Okay, so once again, a blessed morning to each and everyone. Of course, first of all, to the Almighty God for the protection and guidance, and of course, for the success of this conference or international conference. And of course, to the Minister of the Tourism and Creative Economy of the Republic of Indonesia, Dr. Santiago Uno, sir. Good morning. And of course, to the Director of the UTP, Surakarta, Indonesia, Professor Dr. Tresna Suamardi, sir. And of course, to the different heads and different chairmen of the different institutions and organizations. And of course, to my fellow speakers also, to our guests and participants that are present here today, coming from the different countries. And of course, to my fellow Filipino participants that are here, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. And of course, salamat pag Indonesia. Okay, so in behalf of the Republic of the Philippines and the TEU community, it is an honor for me and great privilege to share with you some insights, ideas, and cultural significance of our traditional games and sports amidst this fast approaching advanced industry. So once again, I'm Angelo P. Guillermo from, affiliated in the Tarlac Agricultural University, Philippines. And for my presentation main points, okay, so we are going to start in discovering the different Philippine traditional indigenous games. And secondly, we are going to discuss the possible impacts of the fifth industrial revolution or the IR 5.0 to the traditional or indigenous games and sports. And lastly, I am going to showcase or cite some innovations towards traditional games, including some modern technologies that will serve as alternatives amidst this advanced society. Okay, so I hope that you guys are excited and ready, of course, with our presentation. But before our presentation, let's have a quick game. Okay, so I hope everyone will join our quick game. Okay, so our game is simple. It's very simple. Okay, I will ask some simple questions and please answer it or type your answers on your chat box here in our Zoom. Okay, I hope everyone will participate this quick game. So let's start our quick game. Of course, to refresh our mind. Okay, so the first question here. So how do you put a giraffe into a refrigerator? So can you please type your answers in the chat box? Okay. So some answers open the ref. Okay, yes, I've seen some correct answers here. Okay, so the answer is open the refrigerator or the fridge and then put in the giraffe and close the door. Okay, so very good. Okay, so I hope you answered it correctly. And of course, for question number 2. So how do you put an elephant into a refrigerator? So what do you think is the answer? Okay, so please type your answer. Okay, so Okay, so the answer here is, so you have to open the refrigerator. Of course, you have to take out the giraffe, okay, and then put in the elephant and then close the door. Okay, so question number 3. So the Lion King is hosting an animal conference. All the animals attend except one. Which animal does not attend? What do you think? Or which do you think an animal that did not attend the conference? Zebra? Okay. Some answers zebra. Okay. The elephant. Okay. So that's it. It's the elephant. It's because the elephant is still on the refrigerator, right? Okay. And then for, I think this is the last question. There's a river you must cross, but it is inhabited by crocodiles. How do you manage it? Okay, so please type your answers. Okay, so how do you manage to cross the river? Okay, so there are some answers here. Thank you for that answers. The crocodiles are the party. Okay, so what party? Okay, so the answer here is, of course, just swim across. Okay, and because all the crocodiles are attending the animal conference. Okay, so I hope you'd enjoyed that simple game or quick game that, of course, to refresh our mind before we start our presentation. Okay, so let me start my presentation. Okay, so I hope everyone will listen and, of course, participate in our lecture for this morning. Okay, so let me begin by discovering the Philippine traditional and indigenous games. Laro ng lahi, or the games of our heritage, is actually our term or a Filipino term, okay, used in our country. And of course, Philippines is actually rich in traditional games that leaves a mark in the heart of every Filipino, not only the children, but also adult, no? So back when electronic devices weren't common, when I was a kid, I remember we had made jumps, leaps, run to make pastime to fun time. And of course, I also remember I used to play a lot of the indigenous games or traditional games with my cousins and also neighbors. So these traditional games or games of our heritage or laro ng lahi is, of course, a cultural treasure that's been cherished by generations of Filipinos. It's a favorite pastime, okay, of everyone here in the Philippines. And as we says, you know, here in our presentation, that this laro ng lahi is actually cherished by lots of Filipino. Okay, it is because it encompassing generations to generations. So from our grandparents to our parents, and of course among the youth, okay, of today. So considering that almost 60% of the mass population here in the Philippines don't have or still can't afford a high-tech game gadgets like PSPs, PS5, or any devices or high-tech gadgets. Okay, so the Filipino traditional games are still a favorite pastime. So among children, of course, especially in some heavy urban areas and of course in some provinces. So the Filipino games bring good memories of friendship and fun among those who have played it. And of course, it brings smile. It brings a big smile among our elders whenever they remember the days when they used to play it. And of course, it brings out the child among our parents also when they mention it and vividly remembering their childhood playmates and of course, the neighborhood where they used to play it. And of course, in every adult like us, okay, wish for the new generation of Filipino children. Not only Filipino children, but of course, some ASEAN countries here, you know, with their children to experience the fun of traditional sports of the Philippines or the traditional games here in the Philippines. So now, I'm going to showcase some common traditional games here in our country. So basically, traditional games and sports here in the Philippines are activities that are often played by children, actually involving some usage of primitive materials or instrument, of course, due to the limited supplies of toys available and affordable to Filipino children. Okay, and also they frequently design games, okay, by their own, so that do not require anything other than the participants themselves or other than the children themselves. Okay, so let me show you some most common traditional games here in our country. Okay, so the first one here is we have the Palo Sebo. Okay, so in the Palo Sebo, or in English, it's a grease bamboo pole climbing. Actually, I think there is some similarities with the traditional also in the Indonesia, I think. So in Palo Sebo, it includes participants attempting to climb a grease bamboo pole. Okay, it's very funny. It is very uh, it is very nice to watch those children climbing that grease bamboo pole. And of course, these games are typically played at local festivities here in our country, especially in the provinces. And of course, the competitor's goal here, or the player's goal here, is to first be the first to reach the prize or a tiny bag at the top of the bamboo pole. So actually, the tiny bag, okay, that been claiming, okay, of course, by these children is actually frequently filled with money or toys as their prize. Okay, so that is Palo Sebo. And of course, the next one, okay, is we have the Patintero or crossing the line. Yes, actually, this Patintero, basically, there are two teams in this game, which is the offensive team and, of course, the defensive team, the defense team. So each having 5 to 7 players, and of course, those players on the attack team or on the offensive team, of course, must hit home runs, okay, in order to score. So from the home base to the back end, the attack team or the attack squad must strive to run along the perpendicular lines there, and of course, being returned without being tagged by the defense player. So, Patintero, so that is how it goes. Common traditional games here in our country. And, of course, we have the Tumbang Preso or hit the can. Okay? Actually, this is one of the most played traditional game here in our country. I think most of the streets here, the children's streets here, actually played that traditional game. Actually, in order for those children to continue playing that traditional games, okay, or traditional game, which is Tumbang Preso, okay. So ta, okay, a Filipino term for it. So the it, okay, must catch another player by tagging another player to keep or to take up his position. And of course, as a taya or as an it, he or she is responsible on guarding the tin can, of course, which is kept from being thrown away by the player's slipper, or we call it pamato here in our country. And of course, the taya or the it, okay, is allowed to tag a player if the player is carrying a pamato and the tin is upright. Okay, so that is the Tumbang Preso. And of course, this one is one of the most common traditional game here in the Philippines, which is sipak, which is derived from our national sport, which is the sepak takraw. Okay, and of course with this sipa, so the mechanics of this game is very basic, it's very simple. So the game mechanics here are comparable to those of the Western game called the hacky sack or hacky sack, if you are familiar with that. And of course, this sipa is also played by professional athletes. Okay, professional Philippine athletes, of course, using a woven ball called the sepak takraw, and some regulations acquired from our southern neighbors, including, of course, Indonesia. Okay, And that is sipa. So we also have here this one, the kadang-kadang or the tiyakad, or the bamboo stilt race. Okay, actually this kadang-kadang, okay, is one of the most popular traditional game here in our country. So primarily it is a racing game, okay, which was also known as tiyakad, of course. And kadang-kadang, or this traditional game, is a traditional Filipino game which played during, of course, laro ng lahi contests or recreational activities. But of course, I believe that this game was already popular long before its inclusion on the recreational activities of the Filipinos. Why? It is because those ancient times, the elders actually doing this kadang-kadang, of course, um, during their time, of course, after their household chores, okay, and of course uh, uh, to pass a river, okay, so during the ancient times, okay, so these ancient games essentially foster collaboration among young Filipinos, which is an essential foundation for progressive society. And of course, especially so that many rural communities in the Philippines continue to rely largely on natural resources where cooperation, or what we call bayanihan spirit, okay, or operation spirit, okay, here in our country, and of course by sharing, okay, are very crucial. Okay, so that is what we call the kadang-kadang. Okay, so those are the most common traditional games, okay, here in our country. But unfortunately, okay, the number of youngsters who still traditional games here in our country, okay, has this, I mean, it's virtually becoming a thing of the past. And of course, many youngsters are being addicted to computer games such as the Defense of the Ancients, or Dota, as we call it, the Counter-Strike and others, and of course the children from the upper middle class. They're expected to acquire at least a PS5, PS4, a PSP, or an Xbox, of course, or a Nintendo DS, whatever. Okay, and of course, it was also discovered by some article writers. Okay, there are some citations that actually Filipino children nowadays, okay, do not know how to play those traditional Filipino games. But prompting a member of the Congress finally, okay, approves a bill, a House bill, which is the House Bill 8626, or the Philippine Indigenous Games, into what we call the law, or an act, which is the Philippine Indigenous Games Preservation Act of 2017, which includes its inclusion, of course, in the appropriate part of the curriculum in the basic education system of the Philippines. Of course, to preserve all the traditional games here in our country. And as we can see here, okay, it was the latest status of the Philippine traditional games. So the graph shows that there are already 57%, okay, of young Filipinos who are playing traditional games, and 43% of them are engaged with online games. So based on here, we may think, okay, so many of us were thinking that this was a good news, of course, especially to us Filipinos. But looking into the long run, it was a very critical news. Why? It is because it is due to the declining margin, okay, between children who are engaged with these traditional or indigenous games, okay, to the online games, or in the online games, okay. So as we can, in the long run, if in this year we have 43% who are playing online games, so how about in the next 5 years? So what do you think will happen to the traditional games? Of course, not only in the Philippines, but also in your country, right? Now, so one factor on the declining involvement of children, okay, in traditional games is, of course, the unstoppable, yes, approach of the Industrial Revolution. So I know that many of us have some ideas, some insights. Okay, we are imparted with this Industrial Revolution. Of course, as we all know, our industry had gone too far with this Industrial Revolution. So from the first Industrial Revolution up to this present industry, which we are entering now, which is the IR 5.0 or the fifth society. Okay? So what do you think is this Industrial Revolution 5.0? Are we cleared about it? Are we knowledgeable about this Industrial Revolution? If not, okay, so we have here a game again, okay? So we have a game which is called Guess the Word. So please, again, participants, answer, put your answers in the chat box, okay, with your answer. So guess the word. Okay, so what do you think is that word? Okay, so let me count. So what do you think is that word? Can you please answer it? Or is it too difficult? Or is it too hard to answer this one? Okay, so some answers collaboration, right? Okay, there's the correct answer here. Thank you, Kizia Medrano. Okay, so man, the answer is man and machine collaboration. Yes, that here in this Industrial Revolution 5.0, okay, they're still answering, thank you. Okay, we have what we call a man-machine collaboration. Okay, so the connection between humans and machines or robots is the focus of this IR 5.0. We are already seeing this as humans, of course, collaborating with machines and being linked to intelligent technologies, of course, via gadgets. So the RI or the IR 5.0 is likely to restart the drive, okay, towards more technological, advanced human-machine interfaces. So, of course, this will increase integration, allowing for a faster or superior automation combined, of course, with the power of human intellect. Okay, so that is IR 5.0. So the next one. So please guess the word. So what do you think is that word or words? Okay, very good. Thank you. Norshida Tuking. Okay, thank you for your answer, for your correct answer. Is actually the technology usage increase. Yes, it will literally, okay, increase, of course, the technology usage. It is because the RI of Industrial Revolution 5.0 will integrate smart automation systems and devices, of course, in different areas. To promote what? To promote cooperation and collaboration among people and machines. Of course, with this fifth industry, we are already entering a human touch industry. Yes, where in everything we do, we can simply make things by just one touch with our cell phones, with our tablets, with our devices. Okay, so literally, it is, it will increase, of course, the technology usage here in this society. And of course, the next one, okay, so guess the word. What do you think is that word here? Thank you. Okay, thank you, Diki Friardani, okay, for that answer. So we have here super smart generation. Okay, so basically here in this fifth industry, it is, it is a super smart generation already. Okay, wherein, of course, in this fifth industry, the target or the basic target, okay, of this industry or this IR 5.0 is combining those cognitive computing abilities of machines with human cleverness, okay, or with human thinking and ingenuity and collaborative process between those machines and us humans. Okay, it is because of the super smart generation that we call it. Okay, and the last one, guess the word. Please answer it. Oh, okay. So what do you think is that word? Okay, thank you, Ricky Padawan. Okay, it is unstoppable. Okay, this industrial revolution, okay, is actually unstoppable. Okay, so we need to accept the reality that we are already in the new society or industry where advanced technologies are everywhere already. This ever-changing society is unstoppable. So we need to adopt something new, okay, and something suitable for this generation. Okay, so let me repeat that. This is unstoppable already. Okay, so we as game enthusiasts, we need to adapt, okay, on something new and something suitable for this new or advanced generation. Okay, it is because, okay, uh, according to Anderson 2018, this unstoppable approach of advanced technologies in industrial revolution, most kids are almost stuck on their phones, iPads, and PSPs while sitting on a corner, which is one of the effects, okay, of an advanced society. So, what do you think are the ways that we are going to do with our games and sports amid this advanced industry? Are those games, are those activities will be left behind? Okay, that will be a thing on the past. Okay, so as a game enthusiast, okay, we need to come up with some innovative ideas, in particular to games and sports, in order to go through, in order for those childrens, for this generation to go through with the advanced features of this new and advanced industry. So featuring, we have what we call the immersive technology. Okay, so featuring the immersive technology. Though I am not an expert with this kind of technology, but basically this technology is an integration of virtual content, okay, with the physical environment in a way that allows the user to engage naturally with the blended reality. So in an immersive experience of this technology, the user accepts the virtual elements of their environment as a part of the whole, potentially becoming less aware of those elements are not part of this physical reality. So when we say immersive technology, we have two types. Actually, we have four types, but this is one of the common, in particular to games and activities. We have the virtual reality and the augmented reality. So when we say VR or virtual reality, actually, so the user here is encounters, of course, in the encounters virtually, okay, by using a headset here or a goggle, okay, head-mounted display as we call it, or the HMD. So it allows users to experience a actual or imagined world as if they were physically present. And of course, the next one is augmented reality. When we say augmented reality is actually a subset, okay, of immersive technology in which digital visuals are superimposed, okay, or imposed on the top of the actual environment or the actual world, okay. So one best example in this augmented reality is actually the features of the messenger and on the Snapchat, okay, which digitally imposes digital photos like dog, a kitten, uh, spiders, and even change our background, right? That is what we call augmented reality. And of course, in relation to this, I'm going to present some or recite some innovative games and sports that could help you promote games among this generation. So featuring, of course, technology-based games and activities. The first one is we have what we call the, okay, we have the VR sports. Okay, so here in the VR sports, or the virtual reality sports challenge is one of the newest technology in the sports industry. So it lets you experience to play different sports activities through virtual setting. And of course, you can play sports and different activities virtually. So as you can see in the video, that the player is actually playing boxing.
Sorry, sir. Your presentation time is only 2 minutes more.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, I'm already done in my presentation. And the next one is this, Hassel City, like that. Particularly in cycling, so you won't have to go outside, of course, with this pandemic. Okay, so you can actually experience riding a bicycle even when you are home. Okay, and of course we have here. Oh, sorry for that. Oh. Okay, we have the augmented reality-based mobile applications. Okay, we have the active arcade, we have the play size, and the home court. Okay, so those are augmented reality-based mobile applications. Okay, and of course, before I end my presentation, I want to challenge everyone here. It is because, of course, most of us here are games enthusiasts. Okay, so you must take a leap. Okay, you must take a leap from the traditional, of course, with this fast approaching industry, which is the R 5.0, you must take a leap. And as taking a leap, of course, you must learn new things or trends. You must engage in it, you must adopt it, and of course, have perseverance, or you must keep going, of course, with this young generations. Okay, so with that, thank you for listening. And I know one of the biggest challenge among us sports or in the sports sector is of course with this traditional, with this fast approaching industrial revolution 5.0. And if we will work together, I know it can be done. Okay, so thank you everyone for listening, and God bless us all.
Thank you, Professor Angelo, for the insightful presentation. The last presenter from Universitas Tunas Pembangunan Surakarta, faculty member of the Faculty of Education. His expertise is in the area of sport development. Associate Professor Dr. Sodik Hutomono, MKes. Please, time is yours.
Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa syukrulillah. Wa salim ala rasulillah. La haula wa la quwata illa billah. Ladies and gentlemen, the first, I would like to introduce myself. My name's Sodik Hutomono and my partner Syahri Al-Husin. We are from Tunas Pembangunan University Surakarta, Central of Java. I try presentation with English language, but my partner will presentation with Indonesian language. I would like presentation about sport recreation products by Tunas Pembangunan University called Panco Air. increasing the attraction of water tourism through pancho air recreation sports. Pancho air sports comes from the villager folk game, which is usually practiced on the bridge in a certain river while they are bathing in the water. From the early finding, we brought in the campus and we discussed through the session of entrepreneurship and research. The process of research and discussion took us for 3 years, from 1995 up to 1998. In the effort to design the spring board as well as the rules of the game. The springboard is made of iron and wood, 5 meters long and 1.5 meters high with a knockdown system, and can be placed in any swimming pools because the position of the pool is flexible. The process of socialization. The process of the pancho air socialization is carried out by initiating a game competition among the visitors of swimming pool children, teenagers, and adults in 7 regencies in Surakarta district. From the sport pancho air socialization, we found the following inputs. 1. The springboard of the pancho air sport is fairly perfect and can be placed in any swimming pool without case. It can be done well and interestingly. 2. Almost all of the children and adults are eager to try to practice the sport because it is interesting. They want to test their power as well as to fall into the water. 3. The managements of swimming pool, public hotel, and water resorts want the sport
Mohon maaf,
to
Pak
be
Sodik.
practiced in order to attract visitors. Hello?
Minta tolong itu presentasinya ketutup oleh chatbox, bisa diturunkan. Yang di Zoom. Terima kasih Bapak. Bisa dilanjut? Monggo Bapak bisa dilanjut presentasinya.
I'm sorry, the rules of the game. The games is practiced by 2 persons standing on the pancho air springboard. The first player takes a position in a space with green color and the second one in the yellow. 2. The main movement to play is by throwing to the left or right side by tossing the shoulders like in the real pancho, or by tossing on the free pancho. 3. The competition divided into 3 rounds. 4. The player wins the competition if one can make the rifle fall into the water with the minimal score 2. 5. And the 2 players fall into the water at the same time in 3 sets. So the player tossing the water first is the loser. 6. The limits at the games is from the waist to the shoulder, up to the shoulder. The game can not be done on the part of head and feet. For dominant physical components in pancu air: 1. Balance, 2. Flexibility, 3. Explosive power, and 4. Muscle endurance. Balance. Static balance is necessary to maintain the position of the body when attacked by the environment. Dynamic balance is necessary when a player attempts to drop out of the opponents. How to exercise balance with left hand, stand on 2 and left and the other left up, located on the shoulder or a candle attitude. Flexibility. A flexible body will help players in attacking the opponent and defense when attention to the opponent. How to exercise by strengthening the body's joints and strengthening muscles. Explosive power. Explosive power is an important element in the effort to drop your offense. How to train with the plyometric method: bounding, double leg bound, hopping, double leg speed hop, and jumping, knee tuck jump. Muscle endurance. Muscle endurance makes a significant donations because the player must be able to exercise ability on muscle group, especially the arms and shoulders, to be able to exercise the opponent. How to train with push-up. Example in balance. Example in flexibility. Example explosive power. And the last example muscle endurance. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my partners akan melanjutkan dengan bahasa Indonesia. Monggo Pak Sari. Terima kasih kepada Pak Sari, mohon untuk melanjutkan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo. Halo. Ya.
Halo.
Terima kasih. Ya, saya akan mempresentasikan dengan bahasa Indonesia. Ya, kita minta tolong yang tim ahli bahasa bisa menerjemahkan ya, supaya bisa didengar yang lain. Materi PPT bisa saya kemukakan dari tempat saya ya, bisa ya, tim teknis. Halo?
Bisa, Pak.
Bisa ya. Nah, saya coba kemukakan, presentasikan materi ya. Bisa ya, kelihatan ya? Halo?
Siap, bisa.
Sudah kelihatan materi saya?
Sudah, Pak.
Sudah ya? Ya, monggo ya yang penerjemah, monggo. Saya menggunakan bahasa Indonesia ya. Pancu air ya. Pancu air itu kita bagaimana berusaha untuk mengangkat olahraga tradisional ya. Permainan tradisional di Indonesia kan cukup banyak. Nah, bagaimana caranya mengangkat olahraga itu menjadi satu permainan ya. Nah, itu kenapa kita katakan pancu air ya. Asal muasal olahraga ini sebetulnya dari permainan anak-anak ya. Permainan anak-anak desa. Pada saat kecil kita di pedesaan ada sungai, jembatan. Nah, kita bantingan di situ. Ya. Itu sejak saya usia kelas 5 SD ya. Nah, itu memainkan bantingan itu. Kemudian selanjutnya sejak saya mengajar di UTP Solo ya 93, saya mengajar di di Fakultas Olahraga mata kuliah kewirausahaan. Nah, dalam mata kuliah kewirausahaan itu kan kita harus mencari sesuatu, menciptakan sesuatu yang baru. Nah, bagaimana saya harus menciptakan satu olahraga baru, ya. Nah, karena itulah saya mencoba mengangkat kembali permainan bantingan yang pernah saya lakukan pada saat kecil. Ya. Jadi itu, nah ini tahapan-tahapan yang kita lakukan. Pertama, jadi tahap pertama untuk merancang olahraga pancu air itu, ya pertama dari mengingat pada saat kelas 5 SD kita mau main bantingan itu, kita uji cobakan gitu, ya. Tahap kedua kita mendiskusikan dengan para dosen olahraga ya, meminta masukan-masukan ya, bagaimana permainan ini bisa kita angkat menjadi satu permainan yang menarik. Gitu. Nah, diberikanlah masukan dari semua dosen-dosen olahraga pada saat itu ya, sebelum tahun 2000 ya. Ya Pak Sodik, Pak Mamin, almarhum ya, Pak Teguh semua ya. Kemudian pada saat saya mengajar kewirausahaan, itu saya diskusikan terus dengan para mahasiswa olahraga ya. Nah, bagaimana mengangkat olahraga bantingan, permainan bantingan itu menjadi satu olahraga pancu air. Ya. Nah, saya pernah berpikir untuk meletakkan jembatan di atas kolam renang yang lebarnya 20 meter, itu kan nggak mungkin. Diletakkan di sudut, itu juga nggak mungkin. Maka salah seorang mahasiswa olahraga waktu itu guru ya, ngacung tangan, mengatakan, Pak, kalau mau berolahraga di kolam renang, pemainnya itu harus masuk dulu ke kolam renang. Nah, karena itulah saya mendapatkan inspirasi bahwa saya harus membuat alatnya itu seperti bangku gitu. Gitu. Nah, maka saya coba ya menggambar alat itu. Kemudian kita diskusikan dengan para tukang las. Ya, banyak tukang las. Kemudian kita diskusikan dengan peneliti ATMI ya, itu Akademi Teknik Mesin Industri. Bagaimana alat yang kita buat ya seperti ini alat itu. Ini tingginya 1,5 meter, lebarnya 5 meter. Besi bisa dimasukkan ke air tapi tidak bergerak. Itu bagaimana caranya? Nah, teknologinya itu di sini. Ini lebar di bawah ini 1,2 meter, ada telapaknya ini kayak telapak ayam ini. Ya. Nah, ini tidak bakalan bergerak sedikit pun kalau dimainkan orang 10 sekalipun. Ya. Nah, ini teknologinya. Dan teman-teman di Fakultas Olahraga nggak bakalan tahu teknologi ini kan. Makanya perlu multi ilmu gitu ya, ilmunya macam-macam, ada ilmu teknologi, ilmu macam-macam gitu, ekonomi dan sebagainya ya. Nah, baru kemudian tahap 8 kita mengusulkan paten ya tahun 2001. Prosesnya lama. Ya. Tahap 9 kita mendapatkan dana ya dari Ditjen Dikti karya alternatif mahasiswa. Nah, ini bisa ada 15 juta tahun 2002 itu ya. Ini bisa membuat alat dan mensosialisasikan di 7 kabupaten. Tahap selanjutnya kita dinilai muri ya, di Museum Rekod Indonesia itu ada ya. Kita pertama pencipta olahraga pancu air ya. Tahap selanjutnya ya pernah kita diskusi seminar juga ya internasional di UPI Bandung ya tahun 2003. Itu juga sangat bermanfaat ya. Profesor yang menilai di FPPOK itu langsung meminta kita menseminarkan ya. Pancu air itu, penemuan pancu air itu. Nah, saya itu bersama Pak Sodik juga ya. Waktu itu nilai kita C, jadi B.
Maaf Pak, waktunya untuk presentasi
Sedikit,
tinggal
ya.
5 menit lagi.
Oh ya ya. Nah, itu ya tahapan selanjutnya bisa mendapatkan paten, granted paten, dan juga tahun 2015 granted paten bisa ya kita dapatkan, dan itu juga mengangkat menjadi B lagi ya. Nah, ini aturan permainan tadi sudah ya. Kemudian ini jenis-jenis olahraga ya, olahraganya. Kemudian ini teknis ya, gambar teknis sudah kita siapkan semua ya. Kemudian, nah ini model-model bermainnya ya. Jadi bermacam-macam gerakan yang ada di pancu air itu ya. Nah menariknya pada saat dia menjatuhkan lawan, ya. Menjatuhkan lawan di air itu dengan berbagai cara, berbagai taktik ya. Nah cukup banyak ini paten dan sebagainya. Nah, itulah kira-kira ya tambahan dari kita. Jadi prinsipnya sebetulnya bagaimana kita mengangkat permainan tradisional bangsa Indonesia sendiri, ya kita angkat gitu, menjadikan satu olahraga yang menarik ya. Nah olahraga ini menarik di tempat-tempat wisata karena orang menonton permainan ini sangat menyenangkan ya. Nah kalau kita bisa meningkatkan jumlah pengunjung pariwisata, tentunya manfaat ekonominya sangat baik sekali ya. Nah itu kira-kira materi yang saya bisa jelaskan ya. Ya, monggo itu ya, saya cukupkan sekian. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Halo.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Sodik Hutomono, for the insightful presentation. And we are so sorry because the presenter used Indonesia language. And ladies and gentlemen, the next session is question and answer session. The first question to Mr. Slamet Santoso. Hello, Mr. Slamet Santoso. Hello, Mr. Slamet Santoso.
Yes, yes.
This
Okay.
question is, a sport tourism, is it possible Gora to be internationalized and to be competed in national and international games for Luncana Indonesia?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
which is very possible. Of course, this game of Guara Guara must be promoted, socialist, published, and health training on how to play the game. We said that he also make a video tutorial of the game which I upload on YouTube and organize a competition by working with the government and other stakeholders so that many people know and are interested in playing it. Of course, all of this require the process and cooperation of various parties. I'm sure that guaras will be of great interest. Guara can be played by children to adults. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for Mr. Slamet Santoso. And the next question to Professor Nguyen Tranggian. Hello, Professor Nguyen Tranggian. You can hear me? Okay. This question is, do your country policies promote the sport tourism? For Dr. Balwan Singh from India. You can explain now, please.
Okay, thank you for your question from friend from India. Yeah, in Thailand we have the policy from the Thai government for develop and promote the sport and tourism. Because Thailand is a country that we have the ranking in the top ranking about the tourism destination in the world. So most of income of our country, Thailand, it come from tourism, and so that's why the development and promote sport and tourism in Thailand is a more important thing of the. So that's why we set up the policy very clear. We also have the national development plan, 5 years, one time, that to set up and change and update for this kind of policy. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for Professor Nguyen Tranggian. And the next question to Professor Angelo. Hello? Professor Angelo, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. Hello, I'm Nur Sidat, speaking from Philippines. How can we promote sport tourism in our country despite of the COVID-19 restrictions? And could there be a promising strategy to address to site sport promotion amidst pandemic? Okay.
Thank you for that wonderful question. Actually, with my topic lately in my presentation, I said that one of the trend right now is actually this immersive technology. And with this immersive technology, we have what we call the virtual reality and the augmented reality. So here in this pandemic, as we can observe, we cannot go outside, right? Even of course, especially those children, those students, they cannot go outside. One thing, of course, one strategy is that immersive technology, which is or the virtual reality, as I said. With this virtual reality, okay, we can actually promote, we can actually set some they call this some standards or some criterias, okay, in of course in relation to virtual reality. Okay, so that's it, I think.
Thank you, Professor Angelo. And the next question to Dr. Reziana. Hello, Dr. Reziana. Hello. and this question is, my name is Gema from Indonesia. I have a question. How is the development in sport and tourism because of pandemic? Is there any significant change?
Okay, again, is
Okay.
there any significant change in sports tourism?
Yes.
A change in terms of very specific?
Okay. My name is Gema from Indonesia. I have a question. How is the development in sport and tourism because of pandemic? Is
Yeah.
there any significant change?
Oh yeah, after the post-pandemics, most probably, okay, people go traveling alone. So alone and also a social distance, right? Then it is more on what we call isolation, solo vacations, okay? And now the domestic tourism is also coming up. So people travel more on domestics until at least 80% of people having vaccines, then we can travel. So in terms of changing, it needs at least 2 years to develop back the tourism industry. So it is truly that tourism industry, sports and tourism industry are in chaos now, I should say. But inshallah, another 2 years, it will be booming, employability will be increased, okay, and then the impact to the economics will be greatest. Pray hard so much that this COVID will be finished as soon as possible, right? So it is more on solo vacations, more on domestic tourism. That's what I can conclude. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Regiana. I think that's all for Q&A session. And ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the end of the event, the first international conference on sport and tourism by theme Fostering Innovation on Traditional Games and Sports amid Industrial Revolution 5.0 Society. Thank you all for your participation and cooperation. Please kindly fill the attendance link to get your certificate. Okay, enough from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Recording stopped.